Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my cool Batman stuff video. So we got some more cool Batman stuff from the 90s, from the 2000s. You could even see I have the NECA Adam West Batman and the Batman Little Caesars poster in the background. Turbo Man and Iron Man are not part of this, but you know, they're just there all the time. So for starters, we have this really cool Batman Returns toothbrush set that I found at a thrift store. And then this was gifted to me by a friend. The Night Force Hero Collection came with 4 of the animated series characters, and I'm thinking this was made sometime in the 2000s. Let's look at that year. Do you see a year on that? I see 1998. So it's actually not from the 2000s. It's actually from the 90s. So the late 90s. So really cool. And I'll get into that in a bit. And I got some really dusty relics here from the Batman Dark Knight, Batman Returns collection. And I got the Bat Boat, or the Bat Ski Boat, a Bat Cycle, and of course the Batman Returns version of the Batmobile in all of its dusty glory. I really need to clean these guys up. I should have done it before the video, but I think this video inspires me to put a little more care into their restoration a little bit. So here's the Night Force Hero Collection. And this was actually given to me by a friend, and this is based off of the new Batman Adventures from the Kids WB, back when, there's the logo, back when it was the Kids WB. Great age for cartoons. Back then, Saturday morning cartoons, the cartoon block coming home from school. Batman was a part of that in many forms, and I think it started with the original Batman the Animated Series by Bruce Timm, and then it kind of like evolved into Batman and Robin, the Adventures of Batman and Robin, and then it evolved into the new Batman Adventures, where Robin had become Nightwing and Batman took on a new apprentice, Tim Drake. And then we saw more of Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. So that's where this collection comes in. And Batman on the box, he's got it's a regular gray and black. Somehow the figure translated to like a silver and black. So I don't know if it was just trying to be different so that people could buy it. And maybe they already tried the original gray and black in a previous series, so they're just trying to change it up a bit. And then in the new Batman Adventures, so the style of the cartoon and the design of Batman changed. It was a little more, the animation was more sharper. It was more simplified, and you know, you got things like big chin and big shoulders, wide shoulders, and then simplified logo, insignia. The bat insignia on his chest is very simplified. It's not the circle with gold or yellow. It's very simplified version of the bat. And the detail, like I said, the design is very simplified. Got his utility belt, and somehow he comes with, all of them come with these sort of, I don't know what these are, like, just sort of like, they're not guns, but they're just sort of like weapons that they click off. These little spheres are like weapons that just kind of click off of the kind of bow and arrow, crossbow looking kind of thing. So his cape is actually removable, so you can take his cape off and see how it comes right off. There's the back of the figure, and I guess you could also hang up that that weapon that he comes with. You could also hang it up in the back. You can press it into his back, it looks like. I don't know too much about this series, if that's the way it's meant to be, or the correct way of displaying the figures or what's going on. At first I thought they were just stands that you could put the figures on, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Oh well, I think, and look, there's a hole right through his cape too, so I mean, however you're meant to use these, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, they're not jetpacks or anything, right? So so we'll move on to Tim Drake, and he's the second Robin. And in the comics, I don't know, it might be different. There's many Robins. I think there was like Jason Todd and Carrie, forgetting her last name, but Carrie was the female Robin, the redhead. Many versions of Robin. So this is Tim Drake, and his design, I remember I used to read the Robin comics in the 90s, and his design was more like tactical gear, and it was the classic red and green, and I really did love that comic series. And the cartoon version just sort of changed up a bit. He sort of got this kind of swashbuckling pirate-esque simplified costume. The R is slightly different than like in the comics and stuff, or what we're used to. We're used to that R being more of a sharp slash, and this is, it feels, I'm getting a very pirate theme, like pirate hero theme off of him. And it's a very faithful recreation of the comic book, the cartoon. So this was a great series when Tim Drake arrived, and then Robin had turned into Nightwing and came into his own. So his cape is very short in the back. Doesn't have a hole through it, so I'm wondering. The cape does come off, just like the others, and doesn't seem to have a hole in his back, so I really don't know what they were getting at. But it's a great collection, great looking collection. So then we have Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, Commissioner Gordon's daughter, who in the beginning of her crime-fighting career starts moonlighting as Batgirl, and then she eventually joins the Bat family with Batman's permission. So another very simplified. Oh, these guys don't stand up very well, so when they do stand up, it's really cool, but it's not very easy, especially with these big things in their hands. So we'll just leave that off. And there she is, standing up a lot easier without it. So a slightly different color scheme than Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, from the original animated series. It was just everything was very simplified. Still got that Bruce Timm style of the face shape, and the lips and the mouth. They all kind of have the same kind of style. So her cape doesn't come off, and I'm guessing it's because of her hair and the way they sculpted her hair. This is a really neat sculpt though. Then you got the awesome Nightwing. So let's see if he can stand up. He has a hard time standing up as well with these big launchers that they have. Let's see if we can get him to stand up for 2 seconds. So let's take the gun out of his hand. Yeah, the chances of him standing up are a lot better. So again, a very simplified style. Nightwing's costume has evolved through the ages in the comic books and the whatever. I don't think he's been in the movies yet, but you know, he's also on Titans, which is on HBO Max. But this is just regular black and blue jumpsuit. Very simple. And the toy is a very nice recreation of that. And it's like a basic Bruce Timm style of the body. The big chest and the smaller legs. As you go down, the legs get smaller, but still somewhat show off strength to them. The face, very simplified with the domino mask there. And he's got a hole in his back. So I'm guessing you can stick the pegs in there. So they got to be some kind of a crime-fighting launcher technology or something that you can just kind of put them on their back. I don't know why Robin and Batgirl don't have it. There he goes. All right, so This was a great series, and I'm currently rewatching them starting with the animated series. I'm only 20 episodes into the animated series. Of course, I've seen them all, but as a child, so I'm going back as an adult to appreciate them even more. So all in all, this is a great series. Let's look at this gem. Of course, it is super dusty. I apologize for that. But this is from Batman Returns line, the one and only Batmobile. And it's a very sleek design. Let's see. Let's lift up the and reveal the cockpit here. Looks like we got all the stickers, the decals. Does the steering wheel move? Yeah, it moves slightly. You know, for that effect, it always helps. Okay, there goes that. Pegs are still intact, so I could just, they're just kind of weak, but they are still intact. So this Batmobile turns splits, and I'm guessing with this button pushed. Whoa! There you go. That's some crazy action. Some crazy 90s action for you. It almost self-destructs. Of course, in the movie, you see him go through the alleyway, and Batman uses this this missile type getaway, you know. Some really cool detail. On the parts of the Batmobile. So if you didn't know any better and you saw these parts, you'd think it'd be broken, like at a thrift store or something. And this thing is just super awesome. Great detail all around. So if Batman needed to escape through the streets of Gotham, and I'm wondering what happened to the other pieces. It's been a while since I've seen Batman Returns, but do they just... They got wheels on them, so I'm guessing they self-drive back to the Bat Cave. And in this piece here, this was activated, and it's got like a little, yeah, it's got like a little missile in there. Right there, you see that peg right there, that hole. So it just kind of shoots off there, and then there's one on this side too. There you go. It's just a great piece of cinema history in pieces. I don't know how much to go for on eBay now, but this is just really cool to own. I'm gonna fix it up, you know, dust it off a little bit and put some characters in there, and we'll get the imagination going on that one. Overall, a really great piece. The Batmobile, Batman Returns. Then we got the Bat Cycle, or a Bat Cycle. He had many, so I'm not sure what this was exactly called, but it's some kind of a Bat Cycle. And it looks like it might have been part of the Dark Knight collection. It's got some cool decals on it, very metallic, silvery looking Batman insignias. And then I put the figure next to it for scale. So I didn't know, looks really cool, some cool detail on the bottom. It looks like it might attach to something. I'm really not sure. Let's see what the year is on this thing. 1992. 1992 printer. So I think I saw an advertisement and it had Batman in here. So this looks like, it looks like he just kind of sits in here, but it looks super small. Is this for a smaller type of Batman figure? I mean, is this how he sits in it? But in the advertisement, he was actually doing something like this. And I saw something, it was something like that. where he was kind of like face down in it and sort of like holding on onto the bars and stuff. So something like that I saw in the advertisement. Again, I'm not sure. This might not even be complete. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look it up again. I do know that these wings kind of like fold in if you want. This one has a problem with, there you go, with staying up, but it's really cool to add to the Batmobile Bat vehicles. Ooh, check this out. So you got the Bat boat, or the Bat ski boat. The insignia decal is very similar. It doesn't look like, actually it's not a decal at all. It looks like it's just painted on there. It's still in good condition after all these years. I do need to dust these off terribly. And I'm sure this was from Batman Returns. Here's a look at the cockpit here. Got the little handles that you can fit the action figure in there. I have slid a Batman figure in there, and it does work, you know, fits in there pretty nice, like a Batman Returns figure. Really cool detail. And just like the Batmobile. So, there you go, snap that back in place. So it's got like torpedoes right here, or like these harpoons, and I'm guessing these trigger it. So let's fire one up. Whoa, that was pretty fast. Nice to know that it still works. And it's got these little stands to hold up the back of this thing. This is like the propulsion system, I'm guessing. And let's look at the bottom of it. Comes with a stand there on the bottom that you can take out. Now, I never really noticed these before, actually. They're sort of like feet or something. So, I don't think I've ever really even used these. So they're like skis. Yeah, so it's like a ski boat. So there you go. Nice. I didn't really know about that. So now I do. And it looks even cooler for it. The bats. The final piece in my Batman collection for now. I got this at a thrift store. And it was randomly placed between just whatever, like a bunch of just crap, you know. And this jewel was in there. And it's just random things that, you know, their store just kind of threw things on a shelf, on a top shelf, and I saw this right here, and I was like, why hasn't anybody grabbed it? I'm gonna go do that right now. So it's got this really cool official Batman hologram for like official Batman merchandise. Obviously this is from Returns. Battery powered toothbrush. It requires 2 AA batteries, and it's super small toothbrush for children. And it's got like a little replacement. There's no way I'm opening this up. It's way too small for me, but also it just looks that much cooler in the package. Got Michael Keaton's Batman there on the front. Really cool. And here's the side. It's made by the Janex Corporation. I never really had one of these when I was young. One of these automatic battery-powered toothbrushes. And the year on it is 1992. So that's how you load it up. Very cool to know, very cool. I'm gonna keep it in here. I've had it for years already in my collection, and I'm just never gonna open it. It's just gonna always stay like that. So it's a really cool find. So thanks guys for joining me for part 2 of this super awesome Batman collection, and it's growing. I'm sure in the future I'll be adding to it. I just kind of put Robin on the Bat Cycle there, the animated series version. I still need to get that Batman Returns version, but it seems like Tim Drake fits a little better in this Bat Cycle. And then I have my Batman Returns Michael Keaton version in the Bat Ski Boat. The top doesn't really go down with him on it, so I guess it just have to stay like that. And then I've got the 89 Batman stuffed into the Batman Returns. It works. Yeah, it closes down and everything. And alright guys. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you on the streets of Gotham.